lovers, it's Malia, and today we're going to talk about Sleeping Tom by Evie Fairfall, and you can find the link to her channel right here. I'm wearing black because Kaden, our main character, she loves black. Let's start talking about this book. I loved this book. I give it a 5 out of 5 star rating, and you can find also on Goodreads. It was amazing. It's thrilling, it's mysterious, but it's also just as charming. I loved every little bit of it. So let's start talking about chapter 1. So Rebecca, soaked from the rain and left all alone from her now ex-boyfriend Sean. She is crying profusely and she's just so upset at her weakness. She vowed to be someone stronger, Kaden, and Kaden would be everything Rebecca wasn't. 2 hovering lights showed in the distance and she was still soaking from all that rain. Those 2 hovering lights were her ticket out of the rain, so she did the dangerous hitchhiking. Fun fact about hitchhiking. So my dad grew up in Hawaii, and if anybody has been to Hawaii, we're so laid back over there. I mean, it is just relaxing and everybody knows everybody. It's basically like a big family every time I go over there. And so getting back to my story, my dad is so friendly, and even though he moved to Seattle, he still continued to give people rides. That someone really sketchy got into his Jeep and he thought, okay, maybe this isn't the best idea. He still dropped them off without any corals or anything. And one of his friends let him know, hey, this isn't Hawaii, this is Seattle, and it's very dangerous here. Our murder count is a lot higher, so I would suggest you not pick up hitchhikers anymore. And so thank goodness he doesn't anymore. Anyway, let's get back to the book. Kaden got into the car and she pondered what her next step was going to be, but she didn't know where to go. She didn't have anywhere to go. Gabriel introduced himself and he reluctantly said, okay, fine, you can stay in my condo. We change over to Gabriel's perspective and he is just kind of frustrated. He's like, wow, the one time I do a good deed and she has nowhere to go. But something about her was curious, and so he charmingly tried to get a conversation to start with her, but his efforts were futile. So as they enter the condo, she notices that it looks like it hasn't even been lived in months, but she is thankful that she at least has a place to stay for the night. And he gives her the rules. He says, don't go in my room, you're gone in the morning, and then leaves her be. He gives her a blanket and she's cuddling up to herself, and she is so exhausted that she just finds sleep almost instantly. So she wakes up out of her deep sleep from a pounding that's going on somewhere, and she finds out that it's something upstairs. And so she rationalizes that it might be a little bit dangerous or someone might be in her upstairs. So she heads upstairs and she goes in and someone is up there, but he's not, he has like Gabriel's like look, but he acts differently. He acts more of a child or a little boy. And so she asked him what's wrong, and he said, I crushed it. She's like, what did you crush? And he just gets really upset. And then he asks, hey, can we play a game? And she's like, a game? Oh, okay, without no avail. And then they actually have a really good time and they play all throughout the night. And then at the very end, he asks her a simple question, can you please see me again? And she's like, well, didn't you ask me to leave? He's like, I don't know what I said, but please, can I see you in the morning? And so she stays. And that's how the first chapter ends. And I loved how that was a really long way of how to get everybody interested into the book, and I really enjoyed that. And then this book has so many roller coasters and twists, and I love every little bit of it. I remember, and I like the feeling like she was 17, only 6 months till she was 18. And I remember that exact moment because I felt like I just needed freedom, that I was just aching for something more. And it was a really interesting life experience. And I'm very thankful that some bad things did happen because then I was able to learn from them. And, you know, I'm a better person than I am today, but it was just kind of cool to kind of remember these emotions as she's going through. So I just love that perspective. It was more modern and it was our time instead of all the magic and fantasy things that I'm used to. So I really enjoyed that little escape. It was really good. It was a great perspective. And what I also loved is that she had a really great idea in there of how to do stars, and I'm gonna start doing that for my son. And that's pretty exciting when you can see a book, grab an idea, and then utilize it. So I'll show you guys what I come up with when that happens. Another thing I really liked about this book is that it was in Oregon. And Oregon is very similar to Seattle, where I'm from, in the sense that it has the ocean right there. It has pine woods and trees. And so I like that she was able to bring that back for me and help me just engulf and not be as homesick, because sometimes that does happen. So another quick announcement is my library here in Idaho doesn't have as much selection as they do in Seattle. And so when I tried to order this book just so I could read it at the library, they didn't have it. But they have this really cool program that if you donate it and you specifically say, hey, can you laminate this and make it up for other people, they will. So I have 2 copies of this book because Evie was so amazing in getting me this copy. So now people in Idaho will be able to read this amazing book. And I'm so thankful that they get to, and they get that accessibility. Here are links to 2 videos. One of them is Evie and Ronnie's newest video that came out, which is really funny. You guys are gonna love it. And then here's my favorite video going on right now. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me, and thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy every moment.